Thousands of ANC supporters from around the country flooded Mbombela Stadium in Nelspruit to attend the party's 2014 manifesto launch and 102nd birthday rally on Saturday. The stadium was packed to the rafters with crowds roaring their approval of party President Jacob Zuma. Zuma's positive reception at the event was in stark contrast to the embarrassing booing he received at FNB Stadium for former President Nelson Mandela's memorial last month. The Mail and Guardian reported on Friday that ordinary ANC members were asked to provide ID numbers and their addresses to local leaders before they were transported to the event. Nevertheless, if the party sought to send a message through a show of numbers, it succeeded. Hundreds, if not thousands, of buses and taxis snaked their way along the roads leading to the stadium, forcing some supporters to get out and walk to make it to the stadium in time for the speech. It could be argued that the party overcompensated, inviting more supporters than they neither had capacity nor resources to manage. Among those making the 1 to 3 kilometer trek to the stadium on foot were elderly people, children, and the disabled. The party was forced to shut the gates to the stadium once the event kicked off, as it was full to capacity, leaving hundreds of members outside. Those attempting to climb the gates were eventually convinced to fill nearby overflow sites with space and screens streaming the event. Before Zuma took to the stage, COSATU President Dlamini addressed the crowds, saying that COSATU supported the manifesto, which included the controversial National Development Plan. Dlamini said the Labour Federation would support the ANC into the elections. This contradicted the stance taken by COSATU's largest affiliate, the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, which took a resolution at its special congress recently not to campaign for the ANC. It also withdrew financial support. Zuma's keynote address focused largely on what the party has achieved over the past 20 years, before going into the broad strokes of the manifesto. The plan mainly builds on existing government programs, and Zuma reiterated the ANC's commitment to implementing the NDP and the National Health Insurance. Zuma said radical economic transformation would be at the center of the ANC government policy over the next 5 years.
Our priorities during this term shall remain education, health, rural development, land reform and food security, the creation of more jobs, decent work and sustainable livelihoods, and the fight against crime and corruption.
One of the biggest promises of the day was that Zuma's administration would create 6 million jobs by 2019.
The ANC will expand our already significant public employment program, and we aim to provide 6 million work opportunities. The majority of these jobs will be reserved for young people.
The manifesto also spoke about introducing a national minimum wage as a mechanism to reduce income inequality and a focus on the implementation of the youth wage incentive scheme. On crime and corruption, Zuma said a tender board would be established to adjudicate tenders in all spheres of government. We are now changing the tender system, which has been such a big problem in our country, he said.
Public servants and public representatives will be prohibited from doing business with the state.
Zuma did not let the opportunity pass without making indirect mention of the tripartite alliance and COSATU's suspended leader, Zwelinzima Mavavi. The role of the leagues to support the main structure of the ANC was also pointed out.
The Congress of South African Trade Unions must be more active in guiding our collective efforts at safeguarding the rights of workers. We must all work harder to guard against certain destructive and opportunistic elements that are trying to divide this alliance partner and our movement.
Zuma said the manifesto was a coherent, realistic, and achievable pledge to move South Africa forward.
I now present the ANC manifesto for 2014.
Following his address, Zuma was in high spirits, dancing while singing a song about the long walk to freedom. He laughed and joked with his comrades on stage and with journalists over the amount of champagne poured in his glass for the ANC birthday toast. After ANC leaders exited the stadium, supporters flooded the field in excitement as local celebrities and musicians took to the stage to entertain them. Given the increasing importance of each political rally the closer we get to the 2014 elections, it seems the ANC's manifesto launch will be viewed as a success for the party.
Wait.